Well, I think that if we are getting from talking to action, and if we want to believe what President Obama said, then I think that what he also spoke about was what is going to be the collective action. The US also has to be part of that collective action. I don't think that even if the US does what it does, the way it does it, is enough. And so we will have to look at this format as a collective one. So the US, given its position, has to step up and say how it's going to lift this process. Yes, there are issues with China. Yes, there are issues with the emerging economies. But we have to take these countries along with us. At the end of the day, the science also tells us that everybody needs to act, otherwise it's not good enough.
So even though world leaders have not been inspiring us during these last 2 weeks, there's been an incredible surge of activism, of concern, of connecting across borders online and in every country around the world during these 2 weeks that, for me, is the most positive thing that's come out of this summit so far. On the first day, a young woman from Fiji named Leah handed over the Tick 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 petition, which was built by more than 200 organizations around the world. It was 10 million signatures, and she gave it to the head of the UN talks and also to the Danish environment minister. It was a call for a fair, ambitious, and binding treaty. And 2 weeks later, the question of whether we'll actually get a fair, ambitious, binding treaty is very much in doubt. But at the same time, during those same days, the number's grown to 15 million people.
Right now, we are heading for a very difficult situation in these negotiations. We essentially have a text on the table which is full of hollow promises. We therefore have a failure of leadership to come together to actually start to create the plan that we need to create a safe and prosperous future for this planet that we share. And what we need now are clear mitigation targets, that's to say greenhouse gas cuts by the rich countries. And they're simply not coming forward with anything like the ambition which is necessary. We need also to have on the table finance figures to help poor countries get onto a low carbon path of development and to be able to adapt to the climate change which is already upon them. And I'm afraid the world is full of promises from rich countries about the aid that they will give to developing countries that have simply never been given. And that's why the developing countries are demanding this be a legal treaty so that there is an absolute guarantee and sanctions will be applied to those who do not deliver on their emission cuts and who do not deliver on the finance which is necessary for developing countries. At the moment, we've got promises, but they're hollow promises. And until those promises become real, tangible and predictable, then we're not going to get the deal that we require.